Right, well, tomorrow hopefully might be putting back together time. I've got the cylinder heads sorted out now, all the valves are ground in and fitted. I strongly suspect that new valves and guides were fitted previously. The ones that are in it now, they're in excellent condition, but the valve seats and valve seatings were so bad, I think they were put in without the valve seats being recut or ground in or anything. I think the valves were just put in and that was it. Anyway, I've taken care of all that, and I've also fitted new valve springs. The outer springs measured up to spec, but the inner springs on all four were quite a bit shorter than the minimum spec, so it's had a full new set of valve springs anyway, and the heads are ready to go back on, all cleaned up. I've deglazed the cylinder bores. The bores are in pretty good shape, as are the pistons. This piston I had to clean up between it being coked up quite badly. That was because the piston rings, interestingly enough, the compression rings were on, they were fitted in the wrong order. The one that sort of faces the heat and everything and the bulk of the work was in the second groove rather than the top groove. And also on the left hand side, that compression ring, the one that should have been at the top, that was actually in the middle, the second groove, when I fitted it into the bore and held it up to the light out there, I could see daylight between the edge of the ring and the wall of the bore. So the new rings took care of that. So it obviously had a bit of a hard time and got pretty hot and bothered, and certainly was breathing heavily into the crankcase. I also had to ease the fit. The piston ring groove for the oil ring had become very slightly sort of burred by the old piston rings. These oil rings are one piece. The old ones were those skinny little rails here with the wavy spring thing behind them, and they basically, I think, were just, there they are, so sort of skinny. I think they sort of like started sort of trying to chew and burr their way into the ringlands a bit. No real bad damage, and what I did is I just put it in the lathe and set it up, trued it up. I've still got the tool I used in there. I've done it before, by the way, and just cleaned up the ringlands a little bit. This, whether you can see it there, that little skinny little parting tool there, just fitted nicely into the groove, and I was able to clean up the slight burring above and below where the oil ring goes in. So all the rings are nice and free and good fitting. There's no slop. The piston doesn't appear to be damaged in any way, so I think it was all down to that the skinny little rails of the oil ring that was in there just fluttering about and starting to sort of mark things a little bit. But everything's okay, the big ends feel okay. I've also taken the opportunity, while the top end is apart, to tighten up the crankcase junction screws in there. They were loose, needless to say. Slot head screws, I tightened them up as tight as I could with a screwdriver. After I did that, I saw a little bit of oil had squidged out of the join, at the crankcase join, and then I attacked them with a small ratchet with a screwdriver attachment in it, just to make sure they are really tight now. It's not the first time I've found crankcase junction screws loose. So they were the last little link last time it was here, when I was trying to stop the oil leak from this area and found those loose nuts on the studs in the timing side. They were the only ones that I couldn't get at the time, and obviously they were loose, so we got a little bit more security against oil leakage now. And like I say, tomorrow I'm hoping to fit the pistons, barrels, possibly the heads, and maybe, if I have a good day, we might get it near or even at running order again tomorrow afternoon. We'll see how it all goes anyway, but at the moment it's all ready for putting back together, and at this point at least it's looking quite promising.